Hello, Terrell here, owner of Evolution Movement. So I created this platform to bring people in the community together with different entrepreneurs. And I'm here at Titis Empanadas here in Williamsburg. My boy Nate. What's good, Nate?
Going on.
That's good. So, I'm a huge fan of Cachapas y Mas, which is
Spin-off.
yeah, spin-off of Cachapas y Mas. And if you haven't checked them out, make sure you check them out. So let us know a little bit about like where you're from, how you got started with this, and why you opened up Titis Empanadas.
I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. I started off with my brother-in-law with a food truck. Started Cachapas with a food truck. We've since grown to open up a brick and mortar store in Ridgewood, Queens. And then we started doing a little wholesaling out of that store, which then led to opening up a spin-off Titis Empanadas in Williamsburg.
Nice, nice, nice. So, obviously you just opened up. So what do you think was the hardest part of opening up this spot, even though you had experience with other spots before?
The hardest part?
Yeah.
I think the hardest part was just coming up with the concept and the menu, because it's completely new for us. We've been, working out at Cachapas for almost 7 years now.
Wow.
So we had a set menu, more traditional menu Venezuelan food. This is kind of more of like a New York inspired concept, which gives us a little more freedom to be creative.
Okay. So as far as like the creativity, like what are some of the things on the menu that you like separate you from?
So being from New York and being from Brooklyn, we're taking flavors from all over. So we have like an oxtail empanada, with a little Caribbean flavor. We have al pastor empanada because everyone loves tacos and empanada. That's just a classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also have like our traditional Venezuelan empanadas with the crispy corn dough on the outside with the traditional fillings.
No. So as far as opening the business, what do you think that you would tell others that are thinking about opening a business like this?
I think the most important thing is to just really do a lot of planning.
Oh, yeah.
Think about the concept you're doing in the area you're doing it. I think a lot of people they overlook the location. They think that a busy location is good for every concept.
Yeah.
That doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
You can be in a busy spot, but if the concept isn't right for that spot, it may not work.
Makes sense. Yeah. So you're in Williamsburg, a heavy Hispanic influence here. So I feel like it does make sense. So the other spots is in Queens and also Uptown.
Right.
So what made you focus on this area compared to other places?
We're in Williamsburg, but we're specifically in the south side of Williamsburg. South side is still very, very Hispanic. There's a lot of people in this neighborhood that have been here their whole lives.
Yeah.
So from that part of it, I think that's it just makes it a little bit different from like the north side of Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Where it's a lot of people moving in that are not from there.
Yeah, yeah.
So we thought this concept would work because it's accessible to everyone.
Yeah, makes sense. I've been doing a lot of different interviews with different businesses, and a lot of them, obviously, some in Flatbush, and it's always, obviously, you want to keep the culture of the neighborhood there,
Exactly.
And I feel like that's what brings people in. I've been following this page for Empanadas, Titis Empanadas, and I love the authenticity of it. We go to Williamsburg and you see the places there, and you can just tell that it's not. These people aren't from there,
Yeah.
And I feel like keeping the culture of the neighborhood is very important, especially being from Brooklyn. Like we're born and raised in Brooklyn, so it's like keeping that Brooklyn culture any way that you can. I feel like that's very important with new business.
100%. We made it a very important point to gear the business towards the people that are from here that live here.
Yeah, yeah. And so as far as like starting the Ridgewood location in the one uptown, and this one here, what do you think was the hardest one to start up?
Well, the uptown location was my father-in-law that started that. But I think the hardest one, I would say, the food truck was the hardest.
Yeah,
That's definitely the hardest because that's just a grind every day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, I think they're both hard in their different ways.
Yeah, yeah. So from starting from the food truck and taking it to this point, what do you think was the difference in your mindset as far as like, all right, I have this truck, we're doing well, but now it's time to open up a
Yeah,
physical location?
the truck was it was a lot of fun. It was very hard, but we wanted something more consistent. There were days with the truck where it was raining or snowing, and you couldn't find a spot, and it was it was hard. It was really hard. So we wanted something more with a little more stability.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what would you tell your younger self? Like, if you could go back to when you first started this whole thing, what would you tell yourself in this process?
Ooh. Work smarter, not harder. It was a long period of time where we were just grinding every day, trying to get ahead without taking a step back and saying, how can we do it better?
Yeah. I mean, I always ask everyone that question, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's like, obviously you don't know what you're going into in the beginning. So it's like, you try to figure out, like, you might have a lot of ideas, like, I want to do this, I want to do this, and then it's like, you really got to focus on what you're good at and what you think is going to bring the most money in. So let the people know a little bit about, like, where you can find your locations, IG and all that too as well.
Well, we're located Southside Williamsburg, 160 Havemeyer Street, Instagram, Titis NYC, TikTok, Titis NYC. Follow us.
Make sure you follow them. Follow Choppers Imoxu as well. Beautiful location. Make sure you stop by Williamsburg. It's great, and the food is great too as well. You can follow us at Evolution _Movement NYC, Instagram, and like that. We out here.